Hi everyone, welcome to today's CPD on data management. And can you confirm me all of you by chat option? You can hear me properly and you can see the screen. Okay, all of you can see the screen properly. Okay, very good. Okay, so let's start our today's CPD on data management. So first of all, thank you for MEQSA to arrange this CPD, and thank you for all of you who are participant. And let's go to the model today. So I want during the session all of you to actively participate as an interaction session. You can use the chat option to communicate with me. Okay, so small introduction about me before goes to the meeting. My name is Mohammed Munas, and I'm a chartered quantity surveyor, and I'm practicing in the construction industry as well as I'm a mentor for RICS APC. So that's all about my small introduction, and let's move to the today's CPD. So this data management is a level 1 competency. That means it's a mandatory competency. You have to know about these are the information you should know before you go for RICS interview. So at the end of the today discussion, you can see the syllabus that we have covered throughout the discussion. Okay, so let's move to the CPD now, and we will come back at the end of the session to this syllabus and to make sure you understood everything that we have covered. So let's move on. So now when we go for interview under the data management, what they can ask you in the interview, what is the difference between the data and the information? Or they can ask you, what is the data? Or they can ask you, what is the information? Right? Anybody know what is the data or what is the information or what is the difference? You can use the chat option and I want to see your answer. Yeah, data is a raw, very good. So now, okay, now let's see what is the data and the information. Data is a raw fact, correct? And it is an unorganized fact. And it is simple and random, right? So once you take these data and if you organized or if you process or if you make it structured, That became my information. So that is a difference between the data and the information. Okay, so now for example, we will have one proper example to understand the scenario. Now you wanted to buy one mobile. Say, will you go and buy in a one shop, or will you search for the prices in a different shop? What do you do? All of you, what do you do? Will you go and immediately buy from a shop, or will you do a research on the prices where I can get it? Obviously, all of you are going to do the research, right? Which shop, how much I have the price. Say for example, you are going to visit three, four shops. Then you collect the prices. Then you organize it. Then you can understand where is the high price, where is the low price, where is the intermediate price. Then you can have the information. That information allow to take some decision. Now, as we know, the data in our quantity surveying profession, the tender BOQ is the data for us. What are the data we are handling? The tender BOQ, right? Or the information that we have collected from the supplier, subcontractor. Those are data. So once you organize, say for example, the contractor submitting the BOQ for you. How do you know which contractor have the good price, or which contractor have the low price, and which contractor has the highest price? How do you know that one? Unless you are converting to the organized manner, right? So these are the way we have to understand what is the difference between the data and the information, and how we are using in day-to-day quantity surveying practice. Okay, now as you know about the information, that process data is an information. So like we are doing the tender analysis, we are using the cost analysis. Likewise, we do so many analysis, that analyze give the information. Okay, now as you know, why do we collect the data? What is the purpose of collecting the data? All of you, can you actively give your answer? How do you answer this question when you got into interview? Right? So one effect is to obtain the information. So if you collect the data, then summarize it, that is become an information. So you can use it for decision making, right? As a record, you collect the data as a record. And to make a decision, use it. And we can pass this information. Some organization, they collect the data and sharing to others. So that's give a lot of information. From that information, they can take the decision. So it is interlinked. Okay, what are the types of data available? They can ask you as a quantity survey, what are the type of data you are handling? Can you answer? What are the types of data you will handle as a quantity surveyor? So what do you answer? Or what are the type of data you are handling in your project? So we are, as a quantity surveyor, we are handling the cost data. Very good. Prices or quotation from the supplier, subcontractor. And we have the data for the plant and equipment, right? We have the reports for so many information, and we have the payment certificate of the subcontractor or supplier or main contractor if you are working for a consultant. We have the budget, we have variation details, we have the contract document, we have the cash flow forecast, we have the BOQ, right? There are a lot of information you handle. Okay, so we can classify that one into further internal data and the external data. So internal data mean the data is belong to your organization, like a bill of quantities or rate analysis, etc. Here I have mentioned. Likewise, we have the external data that has been derived from the outside resources, like a cost indices or market prices and such things. Now, the very important question comes under this competency: how do you secure your data? Or how do you protect your printed data? You have printed your drawings, that is confidential drawing, you can't share to others. Or you have printed some contract document, right? Or agreement that it is a confidential document, you can't share to everyone. How do you protect that one? Or how you manage the data in your project? Likewise, they can ask the question. Now tell me, how do you protect your data in your company, all of you? How do you protect? What are the strategy you are doing to protect your data? Okay, so we received one answer by locking the hard copies in the cabinet. Very good. Yes, possible. So any other technique? Now, one question is only talking about the printed data. What about the soft copies? Yes, we can use the password for the soft copy. Very good. Yes. And anything else? Okay. Let's see the answer. Then you see how to develop. Okay. So what are the arrangement in your company to protect the data? Also they can ask, how do you secure data or information saved in the computer? Or what is your understanding about the document keeping? This question can be in a different way, but it is focusing only one focus point is how do you protect the data or data protection. So first things, if it is a soft copy, remember you have to assign the password for the document. In the folder and the computer, there are 3 layers of the password. Okay. So for example, don't forget, don't say just I will put the password for a computer. No, we have to put 3 layers of password. You have to have the login password for the computer, as well as you have to have the password for the folders, as well as you have to have the password for the document. So 3 layers of password first. We have the access restriction. If you are using the common server, you have the access restriction. So everybody cannot enter into the particular uh, folder in the server, right? If it is a hard copy, then you can first scan it and convert as a soft copy, right? You can save it. The second thing, we can keep in the we can keep it in the cabinet by lock. So both way we have to protect. One is a scan, another one is a hard copy to be keep in the cabinet, right? Now, not only in the common server, you have to have the additional backups. Okay, additional backups other than the common server. In case you lost the data, you have to have the backup. And say, for example, you are a quantity surveyor, you take care about your files at least. Say you are working on a lot of document, right? In case if you lost your laptop or something happened to your own PC, what happened? So therefore, every day you will keep your backup in an external drive or hard drive or pen drive, right? You have to have it. Then we discussed already about the hard copy, how we are keeping server. And also in the common server, at least you have to take the automatic backup 2 times per day. Okay, minimum 2 times per day, morning and the evening. And also you have to have the backup at least 2 geological location, at least 2. Why? Is there any reason? Is there any reason to keep the backups at least in 2 geological location? Yes, in case fire. Yes, very good. There are so many reasons. What else? Yes, in case any theft, stolen, what will do? We have to have another backup. Very good. Any other things? What about the natural disasters? All right. Maybe you lose all the documents. So therefore, it is advisable to keep at least 2 backup in a 2 different geological location minimum. Okay. In case one lost, you have another one. And also, apart from that one, we should have the internet security or antivirus, and we can have the firewall. So these are the way we can say. So remember, when I asked the question, you have said only 1 or 2 point, but we have to say almost all the point when you are going for an interview. What the candidate do in the interview or before you go for interview, you underestimate the subject. That is the main things you are doing. Okay, so don't underestimate the level 1 competency. Okay, if you fail, this is also leading to fail. Therefore, you have to practice very well. Now, you should understand what is the principle of data management. Okay, data is an asset. First principle is data is an asset. Okay, do you know what do you mean by data is an asset? Anybody know any specific example or understandable answer for this? How do you know, or what do you mean by data is an asset? Very good. Detail about the past project cost. Now, okay, see about the things. Let us understand very carefully. What is the data is an asset mean? Now you have the mobile, right? You want to sell the mobile and you want to buy a new mobile because new latest version came. Correct? Will you sell along with your personal data or will you take the backup and send or sell it? What do you do? Why don't you sell your mobile with along with your data? It is your property. It is your asset, right? It is your personal thing. It is a very. Say for example, so many company they have the secret document. They can't share to others. Every single client that we are dealing in the construction industry, they have the data that is belong to them, that is confidential, right? So they can't share all the data. Do we know all the secret formula of the all the company? Do you know how the Pepsi's ingredient how to prepare that one? Will they issue those data? No, right? Likewise, every company they have the data. The data is their asset. It cannot be shared to someone. So therefore, that is a principle. Data should be shared. If it is needed, we have to able to share the data. So it should be available to the user and should be accessible. Okay. So whenever whoever want the access to that particular data, we should have to have the access and should be secure. So now we have learned in previous slide how to secure the data and should not be duplicated. What do you mean by should not be duplicated? Now, if the data is duplicated, what will happen? What is the impact? Anybody? If the data is duplicated, what will happen? Is there anybody no idea? False information, very good, Safras. False information, contradiction, very good. Why? Say for example, think about the simple document control job. Okay, simple document controller job. He is logging all the incoming letters from the employer, right? Now, unfortunately, he's duplicate one letter. Now you are asking how many letter we receive from the client. Maybe you will say the number that is not the right number. Likewise, you are accommodating some more that data duplication means this is accommodating some more capacity, right? It doesn't give you the correct information. You can't take the correct decision. Therefore, data should not be duplicated. Therefore, we have to make sure we should not duplicate the data. And data qualify is fit for purpose. So when you are doing the data collection, right? Say for example, you are going to, simple example, okay? You are going to buy the iPhone mobile. Will you inquire about the Samsung mobile? Is it fit for the purpose? No. So we have to focus what really we need. So each and every data collected that should be fit for its own purpose, why it is collected. Okay. So these are the principle of data management. Now, how do you collect the data? They can ask you now, say you have given some information. How do you come to this particular information? Right? So what are the data collection techniques available? Anybody knows how to collect the data? Say for example, you wanted to price some particular item, okay? But it is a new item, you don't have the idea of the price. How do you collect the price detail? Okay, one is a getting quotation, very good. Any others way? There are so many ways we can collect the data. Yeah, we can see the previous past project, very good. We can do some market analysis. Yes. Yeah, we can ask the expert. Yes, they can give some information, or we can collect data from them. Yeah, we can search in the internet. Very good. Yes, there are so many ways. So there are so many ways we can collect the data. Yes, and say remember when you all going to do the case study for RIC submission, correct? So make sure you aware about the qualitative analysis and the quantitative analysis, because either you have to do quantitative analysis in order to give your justification on the selected option, or you have to do the qualitative analysis. So don't forget that one. So data collection techniques, we can collect the data depend on the which data, like literature review or from the books, articles or journals. From the media we can collect the data, right? Surveys, we can do a lot of surveys. Questionnaire surveys we can do. Interview we can do. So there are so many methods. As you said, from the market we can get the detail. From the vendor we can get the detail. Supplier we can get the detail, right? From in-house we have the existing data that we can get the detail. Likewise, there are tremendous way we can collect the data, depend on which data you are looking for. Now the data could be classified based on its objective, okay, and based on the structure or unstructured data and the source of data, okay. And as I told you, the data analysis we have two way. One is quantitative or statistical analysis and the qualitative analysis. So when you are going for a case study, remember you must either use quantitative or qualitative, okay, in order to justify your selected option is right, okay. So how do you organizing and store your data, or how do you data retrieval or access your data, okay? So it is depend on, anybody know how do you organize or store your data? Now tell me in your project, right? You are handling a lot of data. How do you organize and store your data? Or how do you retrieve or access your data? All of you. These all are question you can expect in the RICS interview. Okay, so you have to be ready position to answer them. Okay, so just all of you give your opinion, then we can see the correct answer. Okay, so now we can see using the cloud, using the folder, right? Yeah, there are so many information. Now it is depend. If it is a hard copy, we have to scan it and we have to save it, right? Or if it is a then we have to have the filing, the foldering system, physical foldering system I'm talking about. Or if it is a soft copy, right, we have to put the reference, right? Say there are way how we enter the data. If you go and ask the data management team in your office or data controller, he knows how to enter the data. He have the some format or referencing number. Okay, so it's depend on the soft copy or hard copy, and also cost of the storage. Say how many backup points you want. At minimum, you need to have the two, but if you have more, that's more fine. So, what is the size of the storage? How long you are going to keep it? Do you aware how long we have to keep the project data information? Minimum in Gulf countries. How many years after completion of the project? All of you. Do you aware about that? Correct. 10 years. 10 years is the correct. Okay, we have to give minimum 10 years. Security, how we are going to protect the data, right? Backups, how frequent we are going to take the backups. Do you remember how many time we have to take the backups per day? All of you. Yes, very good. 2 times we have to take minimum. Yes. So yeah, the backups we have to at least take for 2 times, and we have to keep for a minimum 10 years as a designated liability. Okay. So duration we discuss right now, and the method of access, how we are going to access, and what are the storage we are going to save, like this. Okay, that's clear. Now what are the source of data? Okay, there are so many sources available to collect the data. One is a pricing book. They will ask you the RICS. Definitely they will focus on the following things. Okay, what is that? Spons. How many of you know about the spons? Okay, you should be aware about that one. Plus RICS published, building cost information service book. You should aware. Laxton, right? Pricing book you should aware. And we have the BIM, BCIS, right? Market information, historical data, right? Current project data. These all are source of data. Okay. Now we should know how the data management is processed in every organization. Okay. So there are procedure. One is you have to collect the data, then create the index. So that is first. Then you have to share the data, and you have to have the control to whom you are going to share, right? And while you are sharing, you are putting the storage, and it should be consume some store, and you should put the index, right? Because you have to search it, and you are giving some access and retrieval, and whenever you want to update the data, you are doing the data reassign, and you are going to do the data archive or delete. Okay. Now sometimes some people don't know what is that data archive mean. Sometimes we have to keep all the data, right? In case we need for any clarification after the completion of the project, we have to achieve it. So that should be minimum 10 years. Okay. Now, what does mean by data management, or how do you manage your data at your site? What about how do you answer this question? Can you type your structure answer at least now? Okay. Yes. Sometimes you are using the software like Aconex. Sometimes you are using the traditional method. Correct. So you should know the answer, how to answer this question. So what does it mean by data management, or how do you manage your data at your site? So we have to discuss these points that we have discussed in the previous slide, right? You have to talk about this. Okay, how do you are collecting the data? How do you are validating? How do you are storing? How you are protecting? How you are processing? Everything you have to talk. Okay, so that's what I put that question to test. Okay, now this question, can you all answer? What does it mean by data storing data? Now we talk about the storing, right? What do you mean by now storing data? Okay, so it is known as archiving, right? So you know when we have to keep it for some time whenever we need for the future reference. Okay. Okay. Now we have to know one more thing. What is tacit knowledge? Anybody know what is this tacit knowledge mean? Why it is very important? Why it is very important to have this tacit knowledge? What is the tacit knowledge first? Okay. So you should understand what is the tacit knowledge. Okay. See, sometime if you are working, okay, throughout your experience you are getting some knowledge. Okay. When you are practicing, that knowledge is increased. But when you stop practice, if you go out of touch, your knowledge will go out from you. Okay, that is called tacit knowledge. So now think about when you learn about your school time, you have learned a lot of things, right? You learn about the mathematics, you learn about science. Can you remember all the things now after this many year? Are you remember all? How many of you can remember? Yes or no? It's hard to remember, right? Likewise, this all the subject that you are going to study in the RICS, how do we keep remember? Right? When we study everything now, we can easily memorize. But after one day, yes, little bit we can remember. After a few days, slightly gone somewhere. After 1 month, it's gone fully. We don't remember everything, maybe. Or maybe it's 25% or 20%. So tacit knowledge will obsolete. So therefore, you have to practice continuously. There are so many strategy how to keep the tacit knowledge as it is. You have to do some self study and you have to practice, and you have to use some strategy to keep remember all the competencies. Okay, be careful about it, otherwise you will not ending with your study. You will keep on study one subject, you will forget other subject. Okay, now can you list out some of the information technology or network used in your office? Okay, anybody else? Connect Cisco, very good then. Okay, so see, it's all about the internet, intranet, okay, firewall, operating system, whatever you have told, and the software. That's all good. Some people, they don't. If I ask what is a firewall, some people think something is a wall got fire. Okay, so don't get the misunderstanding. There's a definition I have put for you. You can go through with that one. Do the self study also. What is a firewall? Okay. Now let's move to the next topic, EDMS. What is the definition of the EDMS? Anybody know? Be careful when you type the answer. Okay, I know there are some mistake will happen when you answer this. Can you define what is the EDMS standing for? Everybody. Okay, so I can see some answer. Okay, this is a mistake. Let's see what is a mistake you done. All of you mostly type electronic data management system because it is a data management. Therefore, automatically you, instead of document, you say data. Actually, it is an electronic document management system. So don't do that mistake. Okay. Only one person answer correctly. All of you answer wrong because you have to understand that even sometime the interview, what is the full name of the RICS? Some people don't know the full abbreviation. They will say wrong. So be careful about the abbreviation. So it is about electronic document management system. Now, what are the EDMS available in the industry? Can you name some of the EDMS system that you know or you practice? Yes, very good. Aquanex. Anything else? All of you. SAP. Yeah, very good. So many, right? Yeah, we have so many system. Or what are the EDMS software? Are you aware? Or do you know any electronic document management system? There are so many. Okay. We have the Primavera, SharePoint, Aconex, so many available. So if you say that's fine. Okay. Now, what are the legal aspect of the EDMS? Do you know that one? What are the legal aspect of the EDMS? Any of you? Okay. It has a copyright. Very good. That is a legal aspect of the EDMS. Very good. Okay. Now, some overall view of the EDMS, how the EDMS works. Say we have the electronic document management system, right? So if it is a hard copy, scan it and convert as a soft copy. If it is already a software created file like a Word, Excel, PDF drawing, that is already data we are putting in the system, then we can able to access and control the access. This is how about the electronic document management system. Okay. Now, since you people are familiar with the EDMS, tell me what are the benefits that you have by using the EDMS? Okay, space, easy access, security, very good. Then, correct, saving time. Okay, so you have the idea. Okay, but remember when you answer in the interview, don't say one answer and stop. It's better to give more points. Okay, it's better to give more points. So now high security of the data. Okay, that is there. Data retrieval can be done efficiently. It's saving the time, right? It is an effective document control. Say if you are doing the traditional data management system, like how you are filing the data and storing in the box files, right? And the document controller only knows where are the documents. So in case you want to uh, check some letters, then you have to go through with the number of files to open and see where it's it. But since now we have the EDMS system, if you just type the letter number or reference, it will find you where the document, correct? So that is effective document control. And see, now if you are using the EDMS, right, you can send the letters and receive the correspondence easily. But what about the traditional management system? We have to hire the office peon, right? Or messenger. and we have to have the vehicle. He need to deliver. He can't deliver all the letter within a day, and he have to collect the letter, which is consume the time and incur additional cost, isn't it? So therefore, the EDMS has a lot of benefit, right? And also every time in the traditional management system, right? Every department they have, say once one letter come to the office, the the document controller make the 10 copies and give one to PM and engineers. Likewise, he will distribute, isn't it? So every department they have their own filing system, which consume space, right, for the storage, and also a lot of paper wastage, which is costing more. Now we have the EDMS system that is no longer required. As long as you have the soft copy backup, that's fine, right? And easy to share the information. And in case some document controller leave the job, we know where's the document. We need to just replace someone to manage the task only. But in the traditional data management system, if some document controller left, we can't find the file where it is, right? So also EDMS systems are keep on updating, right? They are giving a latest version and keep on revising the latest version based on the feedback that customers giving to them. So it is continually they are improving. So that's reduce the number of employee and saving the money to the organization. Okay, so that is again to elaborate how it is work. I just put the picture for you. Okay, now as long as we have the advantage, we have the disadvantage also by using the EDMS. Now, do you aware what are the disadvantage by using the EDMS system? Everybody. Yes, very good. Initial cost is high. We have to invest a lot of money for the software, and we have to, yeah, hacking threat is there. We need to have the qualified team to operate those software. So we need to have the training, right? So in case some technical error comes, okay, we need still some expert to resolve, right? So without internet, yes, sometimes we can access it. Possible to lose the data, right? If you are not managing the backups properly. So there are some disadvantages also. So yes, your answer is good. Initial purchase is cost is higher, need special training to operate. Online security is still threatened. Complexity. Sometimes it is not user friendly or less user friendly. Sometimes system can be do some error, right? If you don't understand that one, then you don't find the error and you will keep on doing the error. So your information you are getting the output is wrong. You will go for a wrong decision making, right? So sometimes we have to do the troubleshooting. To do the troubleshooting again, we have to call the expert that you have to end up paying some money. Okay. Now, but see the traditional data management system. You know what is a traditional? That long back how we have the document control system, right? In absence of the EDMS system. What are the advantage? You don't have any purchasing cost. Likewise, do you know any other advantages? Very good, simple and user friendly. Very good. Any others? What are the any other advantage by using the traditional data management system? Yeah, no need the special training. Yes, very good. So we don't need the special training to operate traditional data management and user friendly. There's no such a online threaten, right? But what is the disadvantage there, all of you? If you have the traditional data management system in your company, what are the difficulties you will find? Yes, we need to hire number of staff. Very good. More space required. storage costing, time consuming, very good. There are disadvantage. So the answer, whatever you have said, those are right. So even the initial investment cost is less or zero, but the operational cost is there. It is high. Okay, it is not much efficient, and it is not a green practice. We lose a lot of paper, and also it is inefficient. Okay, it is inefficient. So therefore, the traditional data management system now going out of the date, and every company, every organization, they are jumping to the EDMS system. Okay, because of this reason. Now, a question. If I ask a question like this, how do you answer? If you are working for a client, right? That client may be employer, or you work for a consultant, or maybe you work for a contractor, right? Assume whatever it is. Anybody you work for, they are your client. So how do you ensure unauthorized issue of project data to others? For example, you are a main contractor, you issue the subcontractor some document, correct? How do you make sure that subcontractor will not share those confidential detail of the client to someone else? Is there any way? So some people say give access for, okay, then limited access or training of user, okay, any other things? The right answer is we have to have the non-disclosure agreement, okay, not the other answer. Every answer other than this wrong. So we have to have the non-disclosure agreement between the people you share the data. Okay, so you should learn about the non-disclosure agreement. It is very simple. Okay, there are so many information available, but you don't need to go that much depth, but you should know. At least check in your company, okay, in your organization, have you signed non-disclosure agreement with your client? Check it, and you will have the data. Now, I have another questions. Be focused very carefully. Okay, most of the people answer only 50 percentage correctly. Not they will forget another one. Okay, so you are working at the head office. Okay, you are a quantity surveyor. You are working in the head office. Now you wanted to go for a site office for some reason, or management meeting, or you want to do the site measurement. So you are taking your laptop, right? So during the site visit, say for example, you want to leave the laptop in the site office and you want to go around for a site walk. Okay, how do you ensure the security of the data stored in your computer? Everybody, take your time and give your answer, please. Okay, so I got the answer almost password. Everybody says. Okay, that's what I say. Mostly you people are answering the 50%, not all the 100%. Okay, that's correct. We have to have the password. Okay, 3 layers of password. That's correct. Okay, but other than that one, we have to keep the backup in the head office. Say in case somebody theft your laptop, they taken or something damage. Okay, while you are visiting, it fell off and damaged. How do you recover your information or data in your laptop? So therefore, before you go to site office, you must take the backup. Then you can go, right? So that's what complete answer you have to give. So once again, don't underestimate the mandatory competency. Most of the candidates do the same mistake. They underestimate what to learn in the data management, what to learn in the team working. I think it is very easy. Every day we are doing. That is not the case. That is not the case. Okay. Okay, one of your employee or staff releasing the company's confidential information to third party. So how do you take action on this issue? Can you explain, everybody? Okay, you can terminate, but he already issued the information. What do you do? Okay, we can go for a legal action. Any other things? So you can expect this kind of question during the interview. We have to have the non-disclosure agreement test. Okay, we have to have the non-disclosure agreement. Somebody violating the non-disclosure agreement, then you can take the legal action against him. So in first place, you have to have the NDA. How many of you signed the NDA when you join your company? How many of you? Yes or no? Okay, that's great. Now, another question I can ask you. As a quantity surveyor, what type of data you need to protect? Can you give some example? So whenever you say the answer, okay, this is another mistake happening in the interview. You say one answer and you stop. So why don't you say 3, 4 points? That is more important. So assessor will not be confused. Otherwise, say you say one answer only. That's not enough. So you have to give almost 2, 3 points minimum. Keep in mind minimum 3 to 5 points you have to give. Okay. So we have the cost report, rates, so many things we have discussed. Okay. So that's already. Just I am testing how you are improving your answering skill. Now they can ask like this. You mention in your report, that means in your case study, that used in-house cost modeling system, right? Some estimation system. How the rates are updated? Who did that task? Can you answer this? Any of you? Okay. So it is all simple. We have to have the department, tender department, right? So rates are updated by the cost research department. That means the estimation department or tender department by regular data collection. So depending on the organization, that department name may be different, but this is a procedure. Now, what would you do if the rate you are regard was not in your database? Say you want to price a variation, but that is not there. Kind of repeated question. So what would you do? Yeah, we can take the quotation, market price, right? So many things. Very good. Okay. Apart from that one, don't forget to talk about the sponsor BCIs. Okay. How would you use spons or Laxton price book? Would you change the cost for any other reason or any factors? What do you think? Very good. Location factor. Yeah. So we have to change based on the location factor and the difficulty of the work environment, right? The nature of the work, right? So we have to adjust them. How would you provide greater accuracy with the cost plan? Now you are doing the cost plan, right? But how do you know that is up to the level or correct or even trustable? to the client? How do you test it? Very good. Benchmarking. Yeah, we have to do the market testing and we have to do the benchmarking. Okay, this is how we can justify whether this cost plan is right or wrong. Okay, some other information I'm going to give it you here about the Data Protection Act. Okay, now you should aware about the Data Protection Act 1998. Now we have the latest Data Protection Act, okay, published on 2018. In the 1998 we have the 8th principle. In 2018 we have the 7th principle. I put left for you to do that exercise. Okay, so you have to go through with the 2018 and you have to fill those 7 principle. Okay, but 1998 I will explain about these 7 8 these all the points. Okay, so now 1998 there's a 8th principle. Okay, so that 8th principle says some key information. I will give you some example, then you can understand. Say for example, a best example we can take for life, day-to-day lifetime. Okay, what we do, we go for a hospital, right? Now hospital, when you go, they will ask your age, identity, right? Yes or no? They will ask this basic detail, correct? Can they ask how much property you have? Can they ask like that? How much the saving you have in your bank? How much, right? You have a property in your bank. Can they ask like that confidential detail that you have? No. So that should be fairly and lawfully processed. And processed for limited purpose only. They can ask something relevant to your medical history, isn't it? But not above that one, not beyond that limit. So that have the limited purpose. That should be adequate, relevant, and not excess. They can't go beyond the limit. They can ask some information, but not above the requirement. And you have to give the accurate and up to date. Say 2 years back you don't have any disease, now you have something, you have to update. You can't give the information that is backdated, right? And also they cannot keep the your information more than it is required. Okay, period. And that should be processed. Any information they wanted to give to other party, that should be uh, with your rights, it should be securely transferred, right, with the adequate protection. This is about the 8th principle. Okay, so you learn about the 7th principle, what the Data Protection Act 2018 says. It is like a homework for you. Okay, some homework I am going to give you further to that one. You have to do, what are the data protection legislation or copyright law in your country? So you are people coming from different country. Can you say where you people are attending the CPD? All of you mention your geographical location. Yeah, Dubai, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman. Very good. Any other country? Mauritius, Kuwait, Nigeria. Okay. So you people are in a different location. Therefore, check what are the data protection legislation or copyright law applicable in your country. Okay, very good. Pakistan, Bahrain, Sri Lanka, very nice. So, second, why we need data management? Have the self answer. Okay, what are the benefit of data management system? How data management done in your company? Or how do you done the data management in your case study? While you are implementing software, how you can increase the efficiency? How do you protect data in the estimation department? As an estimation manager, how do you manage your data? Okay, so you are the estimation manager, you lost your computer. How do you deal with that? Correct? What are the software using for the BOK preparation? Like that, they can ask a lot of questions. Just I am giving you Now, with this, we will conclude our today's CPD, and you can ask if you have any questions right now on this subject. So I will leave 1 minute for everybody to raise your question. If you have anything, then we will discuss all the question one by one. Okay, so let's answer one by one question. I have got only two questions here. Okay, what is the level of detail in APC interview question? It's a level 1 question. They can go for it. Okay, they will focus on the level 1 question. That it means knowing level. Can we record the CPD in ARC? Sure, you can record the CPD as a formal. Yeah, it's a 1 hour CPD. Anyhow, you can check with the MEQSA team. So how many hours they can allocate? Maybe it can go for 1.5 also, including the Q&A session. And can you explain more about two-way NDA? Okay, very good. There are one-way NDA and two-way non-disclosure agreement. Mean one-way mean only one party cannot be. That means the control by the NDA. Other party no. But two-way mean both party controlled by the NDA. So that is one way and two-way. And I have some more question. Will you able to share the presentation? I think the MEQSA will take care about that one. I think they will share you the video of this today's CPD. So you can go ahead with that one. And another question, how manage all password using this formula, 3-layer password? You have to remember, or you can keep some backup where whatever the password you have entered, right? And that's how it's simple. Maybe your IT department can help with that also. How to check the data management legislation in our country? You have to do some Google search. You have to check your contract document. Is there anything law applicable? Or check with the experts. They knows. There are a lot of in UAE especially, UAE Qatar, we have a lot of laws. How to get rid of from manifold? That is how you organize your data, right? If you organize in a structured way, that will reduce a folder. But still, foldering system not the real EDMS system, right? Still, we are using the network share folder, but the EDMS system is mainly focusing on softwares. Foldering system in between it is, you can say, traditional and the EDMS, which is normally the companies are using the network share folder, isn't it? Okay. So how many of you people are going for this time submission, the March submission? Oh, final in, yeah, how many of you? Okay, very good. Safir, okay, anybody else? Okay, very good. So now prepare well. And when you write the summary of experience, make sure you cover adequately what is to be covered under this topic. Okay. Now, as an end, I said we will go back to the syllabus and we will see whether we have covered all the syllabus point or not. Correct. So let me go back to the first slide and see. Okay. Now, this is syllabus today we supposed to learn. The use of public source of data and particularly BCAS we have discussed. How the data collected, analyzed, stored within your organization we have discussed. How project information is stored within your employer organization, that you have to do the self-study. But in general, we have discussed how in general the companies are collecting and storing the data. How electronic database system works. So you should have the idea like a Connex, right? The use of computerized central project database of building information, same like Econex. Modeling the benefit, challenges, and danger. Yeah, same thing. How technical libraries are set up and used, and legislation applicable to data management and data access. Okay, so that means we covered all the point, isn't it? Yes or no? Very good. Okay, so if you have any further query or anything, you can reach MEQSA, right? And they can provide all the details to you. So with that one, I think it is time to wind up if you don't have any question right now. Okay, so thank you for attending today CPD. So see you all with the other MEXA CPDs in the future. Okay, so it is a time for if you have anything to ask, otherwise we can wind up. So good night to everyone. Have a good, wonderful journey in the APC ahead. Thank you.